Dude, I am so fucking impressed right now. You just rapped Beck. I feel like you're the only person I've ever met that actually knows the words to that song.
I had a lot of time on my hands in high school.
I mean, didn't we all, but... What the fuck is Casey?
Casey, you know we're doing a show, right?
Casey!
Oh, that echoes.
Oh.
I think it's because up there is metal for the...
Oh, yeah.
He's hit it pretty well with the wood. Looks pretty good, actually.
All right, should we start the show?
We might as well.
All right.
As per usual, Casey's late.
Okay, so, hi everybody, welcome to the show. This is a brand new show. And each one of us, we have no idea what we're going to call this show yet at this time. So each one of us is going to take a stab at it. So you are on... What should we name our show?
What should we name the show?
The show that shall be unnamed show. And we have with us here, we've got Deanna.
We're the Voldemort of shows.
Deanna, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Deanna.
And then your camera is the one that's just off of Jen's. Yeah, that's your camera.
Hi.
So if you want to look at camera ever, that's the camera.
Okay. I don't, but okay.
All right. So, Diana, why don't you open it up? Go ahead and start the show.
I'm glad that my name changes every time you say it. I've been Deanne.
Is it Deanna?
Deanna. Or Diane. Either way.
Diana.
What am I supposed to?
Denim.
Did
I ever tell you about the Celine Dion when I worked for her?
Let's come back to that in a minute.
All right. I don't know if I want to tell that story.
The answer to that question is no. Can you sing Celine Dion?
I can, but it's not good.
I'm okay.
In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one there to give you no pain. La la la
la la la la la la la la la la.
Which copyright strike? Oh
my!
Xing that out.
In the desert.
Jen, what do you think this show should be named?
Well, I'm a curious cat, and I'm looking at Alley Cat as a name up there for a song that someone's saying, and then I'm thinking about kitty cats. Curious Cat would be
okay,
a good one.
Hey there, cool cats and kittens.
I do like the cats and kittens. It's non-discriminatory.
I get behind that. I mean,
pooches and puppies. That could be a good one too. All you pooches and puppies.
Can we get drink holders put on these?
Oh. Like little suction cups?
Let's do a structured intro.
Okie doke.
We're going to open it up, Casey. We'll have you open it up. Deanna, you'll introduce yourself as well. And then we'll go to Jen.
Hey.
Hello.
Are you going to be the special guest star today?
I feel like you need to be
You're
closer to
joining the
me. I feel like we're starting from scratch. We're doing something totally new.
Totally
This is
different,
not
totally
chicken
new.
sex.
Is
It
chicken
can be
sex even chicken sex? We remain with the same question.
Okay.
Do we say the unnamed show? What do we... Does everyone just
opinions yet.
Does everyone just introduce themselves and then have the name of their own, have a name of a
Can
different
we just
show?
like break the fourth wall and never have a name?
The name is unimportant. So welcome to our podcast, videocast of nothing important, honestly. I mean, the name specifically.
And then Casey, your camera is the one on Jen's left. So when you open it up,
My left? My left would be this one.
This one?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So
That's the one on me?
Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2.
Okay.
So when you open it up, look at the camera, and then introduce Deanna.
Diana?
Diane.
Diana.
Does my hair look good in this form?
Your hair
fucking
looks
vain.
beautiful.
You are always beautiful.
I did bring 4 or 5 shirts as well. I can change.
Let's do a
into.
formal
Do you
opening.
need some glitter?
You brought
Focus.
4 or 5 shirts to your own house?
No, I picked more, but I left them upstairs to change into in case the blue.
Are you gonna change
so
your
you
wardrobe
are
throughout?
yeah, your beverage refiller then. If you left your clothing, your outfit changes upstairs. Just thought I'd tell you. Now you know.
Okay,
Really
let's
thought
do
you
it.
did.
Formal
No, it's
opening.
go
Formal
to it.
opening. Formal opening.
You're formal.
Welcome to the podcast of things. And this has a new name. The last one I did was with Deanna, and we did one about chicken sex, which I think you should look up because it's quite intriguing to learn about what that really means. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? But this one is, the name is unimportant because the name is really unimportant. So here we are, being unimportant, importantly.
Are you going to introduce me or do I have to introduce myself? I apparently have to introduce myself. I'm Deanna. That's Jen.
Howdy, Jennifer, Jen, not Jenny, except for
Not
family.
Jenny.
Yes.
Family can do that?
If I ever get mad at
Yes.
you, I will call you Jenny. So I feel like that's a good indicator of anger.
It could be.
Yeah. And then I'll make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich wrong. I'm like, here, Jenny, eat this.
And what about Eric?
What
Eric's
about
here.
Eric? Eric?
I'm here as well. Just my white balance is not nearly as good as yours, but yeah, I'm here.
Well, should we adjust your white balance? Because you
Uh,
are white.
Yeah,
And it's
Are you in
important.
balance?
I am imbalanced. I have a lot of issues.
Not imbalanced, imbalance.
Mainly,
Are we
what-
going to start talking about those?
mainly the decision choices that have led us to this moment today. So
Oh, yeah, there's been a few decisions.
All of them were decisions. They just didn't feel like it. It's the weird thing about choices, man.
Choices are a bitch. Wait,
And it's amazing what a difference a consonant makes.
a consonant?
Or one little hump. And he's in balance or he's imbalanced.
Abby normal.
Yes, exactly.
Does that come from like the little bit of instead of imbalance?
Right?
Imbalanced.
That's fucking precious.
Imbalanced.
Do we have an agenda? Are we going to like talk about specific things?
Well, I had one idea.
Just one.
Yeah, well, I've had a few ideas. One of them is that if we did an episode after this one,
Oh.
that one is going to contain us in a further inebriated state, which is actually Eric's idea to do that. And that's
Your idea is
here's
to
my
follow
start.
Eric?
But if we write the podcast content for the next one now,
Oh.
and then we try to follow it in our inebriated state and see how well we do, can we stay on task?
A legitimate question. I mean, so basically you're sciencing us.
Yeah, can we stay on task better than our sober selves?
Good question.
Because I've experienced that where a lot of people just are like
Thoughts?
I'm still just milling it through at this moment.
milling it.
Yes.
She's
You have like a
digesting.
mill in your head, like chopping up
Speaking
grains.
of milling, there is a big difference both cost-wise and efficacy-wise in a milled versus a stamped. What are those called? Chamber. Receiver. I thought it was not just the receiver. It's something else. Didn't it have a name?
Framer of receiver.
Well, milling is good. You really get a much more precision
Yeah.
result than
Yeah, but not cost.
well, stamping is super quick.
I thought that piece had a different name than a receiver.
no, there's the frame or the receiver, and when it's stamped versus milled, there's a big cost and time difference there.
So
like,
it's
if you
the
need to,
whole
yeah,
apparatus.
if you need to, like, as a nation state, go dump off like a couple,
I thought
million
it was the chamber that was either milled.
guns in some third world country somewhere, it's a lot cheaper to do it stamped than milled. That's why.
But if you need to consume budgets so that you have the budget allocation the next year, take the part that would normally be stamped and mill it.
But to your point, I mean, sober me can't even stay on task to make an agenda for the next episode.
Oh.
What kind of agenda would you like?
What would I like?
Are we going to write it down? Do we need pen and paper? Do we need something to refer to, or are we relying wholly on our memories?
Ooh, memory game.
I think memories is a great way.
Cool.
I mean, one thing I really get a joy out of that I found in life is to, I'm going to use the word gently so it sounds better, but to gently smash people's dreams in front of their face. I mean,
What
that's
do you
gently,
do? I'm a gentle dream
I'm a
smasher.
gentle dream smasher.
Can we make you business cards for that?
Gentle dream smasher extraordinaire.
Have you had any triumphs in dream smashing?
Well, I think one of them has definitely been the podcast we did before.
Oh, okay.
Like, just everybody's always using that. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? And I'm like, do you even know how that came to be? Do you even know how that works? And most people don't. They're like, oh, well, they just do the thing, And then when you tell them the details, they're like, I don't really like knowing this.
Yeah, it was a really uncomfortable conversation, honestly.
Yeah.
And it remains uncomfortable, honestly. I don't really want to get into it, frankly. I
Yeah.
really don't.
Well, then I started studying other ones like ducks.
So you're not
Are
a
they that
dream
much different
smasher,
than-
like...
Well, that was my sidetrack. See, I can't even stay on topic with that. Like,
You're
it's
like-
really about smashing dreams, and I got into like how do fowl reproduce.
Yeah, a foul reproduction smasher.
No, because there's other things too. Like, can we pause for a moment? At least my life. You guys talk.
There's no crying in baseball. We can pause. we can't pause the podcast.
I love that
Oh,
movie.
no.
Do you know the part where he's like peeing and it like lasts for like a good 5 minutes?
Yeah,
That I find
Who-
was my favorite part of that whole movie.
absolutely.
I'll
I
leave it
mean,
there,
I feel like it gives a
You
very
like peeing?
clear indication of the amount of alcohol he's actually consuming while attempting to coach a women's baseball league.
And the amount of
Why
like
would you pee so long?
he peed like for 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
Well,
he
probably
had-
not little. It was probably closer
He
to
was
2 minutes.
holding it for a while. I don't know. Do you even know what we're talking about?
No, I
A
know.
League of Their Own?
I know. the League of Their Own,
I
just
didn't
don't
even know
remember
what you were
peeing
talking
so.
about. I'm like, what movie was it? Naked Gun? What are they talking about? I don't know.
Well, we know what we're talking about, and that is the only thing that remains.
That is the only thing that
important.
matters.
It's true. How obscure can you get with a movie?
I'm looking for some notes I had on what to ruin.
I
and
love how many lists you have. It's one of my favorite things about you, actually.
There's a lot here, and
I
that's
feel like you should show the camera.
like how many lists there
Yeah,
are.
just like show. Just give
Does
an
that does that show up? Good enough. So there's lists here. How many are there? You know what I want to talk about? That I just remembered is in these lists is contained. This one is specifically called ideas, and I have a list of a bunch of things that, hey, this would be a cool idea. Like, here's one for something that I just barely got for the first time in my life was this list is quite old. A curved monitor,
Oh yeah.
like for your computer. Mm-hmm. I remember thinking, man, that'd be so cool. Like if I could have a big wide one that like curved.
It exists.
I
yeah.
bought one this last week, and I finally have my dream. I was thinking of inventing it at the time.
Did you install
Good
it?
thing I didn't. Yes, I did, and it's beautiful.
Oh, I'll take a look when we go upstairs.
But also, I have ones in here of like glow-in-the-dark crayons
That exists.
or a pregnant shirt.
Oh, what?
A pregnant shirt, so it shows like your baby. Like you go get the 3D scan of your baby, and then you put it on the shirt,
Oh, okay.
and
So
then
you
you're
get
wearing your
ultrasound?
baby around, so you can see what's
Can
inside.
you
So it's
make
like
it
X-ray.
a whole anatomy shirt, not just the pregnancy? Like you can see heart to
Oh, you can.
and
Yeah,
like
sure.
bones.
Do you want it to be yours?
not mine specifically, like
Oh, but
the
the
individuals specifically, because I think they all look different.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it'd be your scan of your body on your shirt.
To get that scan, though.
Why?
Well, you wouldn't
The
do without.
radiation.
Oh,
Well, you would do. That's what the
Fuck them.
the
Fuck
pregnancy.
the kids.
Well, we get it anyway. You fly in a plane, you get radiation. Why not get it then?
Yeah.
Like it's a key moment in your life, rather than just like I'm going to Florida.
I have a stupid question. Like, how much radiation are you exposed to just in a general way from, like, the sun heating us? Because there's radiation coming off the sun, right?
Right.
So how much radiation are we actually exposed to just in a general way?
Well, it depends if you're inside or outside, of course. But if you go out in the sun enough that like it hurts you.
I have physical proof of it.
Yes, you do. I just saw it a few weeks ago. You
Oh
turned
my gosh.
red.
It did peel. I did take a picture for you because you asked if it would peel. Yeah. It's gross.
I don't, and I do want to ask what part was peeling.
It was like like my neck didn't peel. Like I had a sunburn that was like a perfect line. Oh shit. Sorry, Eric. Uh-oh. Mike
Your
down.
mic went limp.
I think there. Better.
That feels better.
Okay.
Yeah, a line
Have
like
you
across
considered talking to your doctor about your limpness?
my limp mic.
Yeah. Doc, I've been having a problem lately.
Doctor, I want to
went
talk
limp.
about Limp Mike. I want to talk about Limp Tim, Limp Bob. I feel like I'm having this personal problem.
I went limp during a critical phase.
It was particularly my right leg. That's the whole thing peeled. It was pretty gross.
Yeah. Don't want to do that too many times.
No, I don't want to do that ever. I was gardening on drugs and didn't think about the fact that I'm pasty and might need to put sunscreen on the lower half of my body.
I get it.
And yet the day before, I thought I heard you say, I really got to watch myself from the sun.
Probably. I probably did say that. Did I get drunk and forget? Oh, speaking of, we're supposed to remain on task. So Casey wants to talk about ideas, being a dream crusher. What else are we supposed to talk about?
Yeah. Well, here's this in my ideas here. I was getting to this one here. It's see if you can tell me what is being said here. And I'm going to ask Jen first.
Okay.
Okie doke.
A disenfranchisement of slightly affected populations within the societal constructs of culturally enigmatized biases.
Oh my god.
Holy
That should be the
fucking
name of the
shit.
show. There's the name of the show.
Welcome.
Welcome to woke politics.
I feel like I'm taking the SATs. Could you repeat the question?
Yes. What is a disenfranchisement of slightly affected populations within the societal constructs of culturally enigmatized biases?
I'll take COVID for 200, Alex.
legit. So the disenfranchisement of groups that are only slightly affected by a construct that exists about biases that remain hidden or not understood.
Enigmatized.
Yes.
Well, what does enigmatized mean?
To be an enigma. How...
Wasn't that like kind of like a something that's not really?
If I use enigma in this sentence, does the sentence even make sense anymore?
That's an enigma.
I feel like that has just fully gone over my head. Is what I
Okay,
feel like.
The good news is it went over everybody's head,
that's
and that was
good.
probably in a
But we all-
peer-reviewed journal. Like,
we deal with this on a daily basis.
oh, 100% yes.
It's another way of saying first world problems.
Oh, I was going to say, is it going to work? Because,
Yeah, it's first world problems.
I had an Enigma CD back in the 90s.
Can you sing that? Is it, or hum it? Is it, there's not vocal, well, is there vocals in Enigma?
It's
Is
like-
it like chanting?
Yeah.
Hoo-yah, why-hey,
Yeah.
like that.
You missed Eric doing Celine Dion and
Oh.
Alvin and the Chipmunks, so you missed a lot while you were getting ready.
Yeah, well,
that's a good way of saying first world problems. It's so simple and,
yeah, it's
and
first
much
world
easier
problems.
to understand.
Like we should be able to say those
I
kind
have
of
a
things
question.
if we're in this like elevated society.
The
We should be able to
disenfranchisement
Yeah.
of relatively unaffected populations existing in the enigma of our biases. Cool, that's splendid. Where did you find this?
I made it up.
Oh, you made it up.
Yeah, this is my notes.
You
Oh.
deconstructed something simple like first world problems.
Yeah.
And just deconstructed it to
Well,
the finest.
I don't think that's a
Constructed.
deconstruction. That's a
construction.
construction.
I'm a builder, is what I learned. And like my communication style is I'm a builder. And so I took a simple concept and I built it into one that is as complex as our societal construct
That is pretty
to
complex.
match it. I was trying to match it. And it turns out, we have this weird fascination with
Do you feel disenfranchised?
slightly.
Okay. By what?
Well, like there's franchises all over the place and sometimes they're not good.
Yeah.
Okay, so like they dish you?
Yeah. Like,
You
what's up?
dissing my style.
Yeah. Like I want to eat healthy. And when I go to these places that say they're healthy, they're franchises, they're dissing me because like sometimes if you like peel back the layers, you're like,
Healthy compared
what's really
to
in
what?
this? Yeah. What does healthy mean? Healthy star? Like, or why don't you use the word healthy? You use the word like, good for you. Or no, what's another one? Like,
Isn't that individual though? Like what if you're allergic?
yeah, I mean, like there's some labels that are like, warning, this thing was made in the presence of a nut. Like that had been here at some point in its life.
Or dairy.
And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But if it's like, oh, we put these things on here that we don't want you to know about, so we're going to call them different words.
So is the number 3 topic first world problems or disenfranchisement relating to first world problems?
The number 3 topic, how do you mean?
Well, if we're making a list of what to discuss in our next podcast, and I'm supposed to keep track of that and see how effective I am, if I'm actually doing science on myself, is the number 3 topic first world problems or the disenfranchisement from first world problems or disenfranchisement, period?
You could go both ways. You can go out.
Or is that
and then
3,
back
4,
in.
and 5? It's chapter 3, 4, and 5 of podcast number 2.
Is there more on the list other than?
Oh, this
the
list, those lists were like
Is
just
it go on and on and on?
Yeah,
and on?
this list goes on. Do you want me to? I'll do a super fast read through. You ready?
Yes.
And these are my personal ideas that I came up with of things that I want to exist. I thought, oh, I'm an inventor. But turns out what I really like is these things just to exist so that I can buy them.
There you
He's a
go.
consumer.
Because it turns out that like if you take one of these ideas, you can convert this into your new life journey,
There you go.
which is not what I really wanted. Like I didn't want, this is why I didn't do it with
you don't
the
want to
monitor,
invent.
the curved display. I was like, this is, I knew better with that one. Like this is going to be a huge project. I don't have a factory that makes
Right.
screens right now, and for me to develop the technology to do that, I could do that at the university and work on that. But to get that to apply to a business where I can buy it again, like I could maybe have like one that I had on my desk, but it's going to be like a prototype and it's not going to look
Yeah,
great,
because the cost is going to be.
and it's going to cost like $20,000 for one.
What are screens even made of?
Electronicals.
Electronicals. Is
Yeah.
that like testicles of electricity?
Kind of, yeah.
Electronicals. I feel
thought of
like
this one,
Eric
too.
knows the answer to this question.
He might not.
Eric, what are monitors made of?
Which part?
Glass,
Glass. So
Oh, the
sand.
layers.
I don't know. I don't even know.
plastic,
Yeah. So there's.
communication.
Do you want to answer this one, Eric?
Yeah, it depends on the monitor.
He's
because-
looking at one over there. What is your monitor made of there?
So,
Hope and dreams.
there's like a monitor where like you're at a school and they have like the little ribbon across their chest
Oh,
and they make
gosh.
sure you have your hall pass.
Yeah.
That's
Hall pass
a
monitor.
monitor.
Those are made of flesh and bones.
Yeah. You could
and
have
bitterness and resentment.
you could have like
And a Thor tie.
a newspaper named like
True.
the Farmington Monitor,
Yeah.
or the Riverdale Monitor. You could have a monitor that's like a CRT monitor where it's like a big tube television.
What is
The cat-
CRT? Choose the right.
Cathode ray tube.
Oh, not to be confused
No, you
with
should-
the,
That's CTR.
the Mormon
That's
acronym.
CTR.
Oh, not.
You excite a cathode, which is the part of a electrical circuit. You have a cathode and anode.
Okay.
You excite the cathode and it sheds electrons
Oh, neat.
in a ray. They're aligned in a tube, and that tube directs where the rays go, and then they hit an element on the screen, and that makes it glow.
Does
that
it have multiple
old
tubes
TVs?
then?
What?
The old TVs? Is that?
Yeah, the old TVs.
Okay.
No, they just have one screen, and that tube steers them. So there's a little there's a electromagnet in there that steers the rays to each dot, and it just goes bzzz, super fast. Like, so one scan is the 1/27th of a second. It does all the dots, which back then was like what, 640 by 480 kind of resolution, maybe 320 by 240. So those numbers times together would be that many dots in one scan in 1/27th of a second. So it's really, really fast.
That is.
And the
But it's
dots
doing-
are representative
doing
of
them
electrons in a ray creating an image on a screen through a tube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a CRT. Then what's the next, Eric?
Well, you got LCD, which is like your
Liquid crystal display.
Is that what LCD stands for? Is crystal?
Liquid crystal, yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
And those one,
I have
what?
Do
no idea.
crystals, when liquid, still have their shapes? What are those called? I think I've had plenty of bourbon thus far this morning.
Oh,
I don't
good.
even know.
Here,
like,
have some more.
Thanks. What are the little angles called? The little crystal. What are they fucking called?
Like a crystalline plane?
Like a crystal.
There's like the angle between the planes.
It's
is
the
different.
angles, yeah.
Like a rhombus, they make a rhombus shape with those planes. They're like,
So, like
like
a
this,
crystalline structure,
this.
depending on whatever it is, when it's liquid,
but-
does it still maintain the structure? Is what I'm asking.
not throughout,
Not throughout. So, okay.
but it's as a liquid. And so those work by, like, you put a light behind it, and the light goes through because it's a liquid, right? But when you stimulate it with electricity, those crystals all align in such a way that it blocks the light.
Is that a fucking mosquito?
There's.
No, it's just one. I don't see two. No, it's just
It flew that way.
it's a fucker mosquito, but he's not doing that act right
it's
now.
a spy
He's not-
from Bill Gates.
Doing fuckery. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's mosquitoes. They're annoying. But that technology is that way. Like, it just blocks the light out. So you have like on each little dot, there's a red, a green, and a blue one, all next to each other.
It's not like cyan, yellow.
And then depending on how much electricity you put across those depends on how dark it goes. So you can control like how much red is shining through, how much green is shining through, and how much blue is shining through for each
There is
pixel.
so much about the universe I just simply do not fucking understand.
Well, and then there's LED,
LED.
light emitting diode, which was only possible after the white LED, which was a major technological breakthrough.
I thought it was the blue.
Yeah, I thought it was a color.
Oh, it was the blue. Yeah, you're correct.
Blue
correct.
made it so you could make
Yeah.
white, because before then we only had red and green.
Red
Yeah.
and green. And then it was a Japanese guy that worked and worked and worked for decades and developed
Yeah.
the blue LED.
Took like 20 years. That's why it's like
But
this idea list of like, hey, I've got these cool ideas.
But he
If
did
one
it
of
for a
those
business,
involves-
so he didn't really get anything out of it.
No, he saved the world
Yeah, but he didn't.
or
personally.
provided the world.
wow,
with-
reality is so different. Oh. Whoa.
Okay, you have the list of things. We got sidetracked.
Yeah.
Smidge.
Well, wait, we're still not to OLED.
Oh my.
Yeah, we're not even done. I asked the wrong question.
LED. So LCD is a screening process. LED is those are actually little lights.
Wait a minute.
that
Wait.
turn on.
I missed the first part. OCD is a screening process?
LCD.
LC.
OCD is when you're like.
Liquid crystal display.
Okay. I heard OCD, sorry. LCD is a screening process.
LED is a light emitting diode, which means that instead of having a little thing that blocks the light, it emits the light now. So when you put electricity on it,
It does the
provides
job.
light.
It's not the show, or it's not the thing that you put the reel on. It's the reel. It's the film inside the reel. It
I have
made
no
sense.
idea what
It
you're
made
saying now.
sense to me. Don't
Okay.
worry about it. Carry on.
So the nice thing about the LED is because now you can have a true black. Because
Oh.
with the LCD, it's hard to block out 100%. And so now if it's completely black and you turn on the light, that's different than being completely bright and dimming it.
What is the benefit of true black?
It looks better.
More crisp.
Yeah, like when you're watching a horror film, for example, and it's like kind of got this brownish black background.
I kind of like the grittiness of that.
And also, you can have a differences in your blacks. So
Yeah.
say, for example,
I mean,
like
I own lots of black clothes. I understand this.
yeah, not all, you don't want someone sitting in a black shirt on a black couch to just completely
Blend
Disappear.
blend
into the
into the
black.
couch, right?
Yeah.
You want the differences
do
between
you?
the two blacks.
Well, it depends what you want,
Yeah, it depends on what you want.
but there's more possibilities. Like maybe that was the only technology is the black
Okay.
shirt went into the couch, and now it's like, oh, there's new tech.
Okay, so we're through LED. We've gone from LCD to LED. What's next?
OLED.
OLED, and we forgot plasma.
Oh, yeah,
my.
there's plasma.
Was plasma? How far back is plasma?
Plasma's in the range of LCD to LED.
Okay.
Plasma is just basically like the precursor to LED.
It's like
Yeah,
the goo before the liquid.
the original like flat screen TVs were plasma.
Yeah, when they first came out with the flat screen
The goo
TV,
before the liquid.
they were like
Okay.
$5,000 for a 30-inch.
So what were the huge TVs back in the day that were like the giant ones?
The Mitsubishi.
The ones that would take up this entire wall, and they were probably a good
Projector,
Like
those-
Yeah,
$20,000.
those are projector screen.
Okay.
So those use 3 light sources from below, like those canned lights,
Okay.
but they have a mirror behind the screen. And so they shine up on the mirror, and then so you can have a light source that's maybe like this
so they
big
were like
around. and
inside projectors.
yeah, it's like a projector on the inside of this TV instead of on the outside.
Okay.
Unrelated, but I feel like you need a muscle shirt.
I don't want a muscle shirt. I don't got muscles to have a muscle shirt.
I don't feel like you need muscles to have a muscle shirt. I mean, I feel like the
Here, I'll go like this. There's some muscle.
Oh my goodness! Yes,
all right, OLED.
organic LED.
So the light itself is organic, or the emission is organic. It does it on its own.
It's thinking now.
Oh,
It's pure. It's been
it's like I'm ready to shine, bitches.
Is it made out of organic material?
yeah, which really just means carbon.
You
It
used
means-
to only be able to get them at Whole Foods.
Yeah, now,
And now it's
No.
available everywhere.
yeah, now you can find it next to the other monitors where it's LED and then organic LED. If you look for the little label on there that says it's happier,
So
Okay.
no GMO.
no
in the-
no GMO displays. Yeah,
Okay.
That makes sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
Tell
'cause
me
it-
what the difference is between OLED and LED.
it's just
Organic.
different. It has organics in it. It's just got different chemicals in it for
Plants?
doing the LEDs, and supposedly those can go to an even blacker state, and then they have a little more. That's where we get the flexibility from.
The flexibility of the light
Well, it's
that
like
it
when you
emits. The
The
flexibility of the
construction.
Oh, the curvature.
Because like an LED is a very the gap on the LED is very fragile.
Okay, so the
And
organic allows the
the
structure
organic-
to change.
I'm
And emit
making a little bit of an
effectively.
assumption here because I don't really know,
Okay.
but I have seen the curved displays come out as organic has come out.
That actually in
it
some
photosynth-
way makes sense to me, even though I clearly don't have a deep understanding of this situation.
Is it like photosynthesis with like plants, and it's like organic, so it's bringing in and out the light through like.
Oh,
the
it's an
sun?
absorption and then a reflection of.
Yeah. I
Oh.
wonder if that has
Maybe
anything
it's
to do
part
with
of bugs. Maybe they take bugs, harvest them, grind them up, filter out the organic part that light up.
That's a good use for mosquitoes.
That would be if we could make mosquito
Mosquitoes and
displays.
wasps.
We've got a new. That's what we need in this place, honestly. We've been trying to get rid of mosquitoes forever. They're a pest. But if
They're
we make
good.
them,
But
if
we
they
just
make
need
them
to
into a
grind
product,
them up.
Birds eat them.
They actually have a very interesting and important purpose. They decompose material like flies do. Kind of important. Do you want a bunch of dead shit just like hanging out?
No.
No, nobody does. So you just have to deal with the fact that like they have to suck your blood to decompose dead shit.
Yeah, they're like vampire decomposers.
Yeah. I try to remember that when they bite me and I'm like, you have a purpose, you fucking asshole.
Here's another thing from my list of ideas. You ready for this one?
No, but I'm gonna get ready.
I either want to do this, or
Oh, you
have
want to
somebody,
dedicate some time?
or have somebody
you want it
bring
to
this
exist?
to the world.
Okay, cool.
And it's not, to me, it seems like a pretty simple thing. It's just it's a brand name,
Okay. Well.
but it's specifically for bath salts.
Okay.
And the brand is Sodom and Gomorrah.
I can see that.
What's in the bath salt?
I feel like
they're
you
organic.
should just do it.
Organic bath salts.
I don't know if you know this, but Eric has a whole company that he can do all manner of branding.
Like Peachy Atomic.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric, can you help him with this idea?
I don't know if Eric was listening.
Oh, I'm listening. Yeah. It could be sodium and Gomorrah. 'Cause
Sodium
it's
and
of
Gomorrah?
Salt.
That indicates it's salt.
Oh.
I mean, that's
That's your list?
not all of it. I left out probably 2/3 of it.
He has like so many lists.
So many.
He has a list of random shit that I say
Lists
on the telephone.
on top of
like,
lists?
yeah.
Like this other one down here, the Stabler Tabler.
Oh yeah, stable table. Stabler tabler.
A Stabler Tabler. It's a device that you put underneath tables in restaurants so that they don't wobble.
Okay.
Since I don't
Everybody
know.
uses matchbooks or napkins.
Isn't there
And the
somebody?
wedgies don't work.
Do restaurant owners, do they either not care,
Thank you.
or is their staff that they ask to do it too lazy, or do they not have the right tools to make tables not wobble in restaurants?
The little
'Cause I
wedgies.
don't know
the
anybody.
wedgies disappear. Okay, I worked in restaurants for a lot of years. The little wedgies disappear, and often throughout a shift, the need will change based on people trying to fix it, based on how often they lean on the table, and there isn't always a tool available. So it really is like sugar packets or napkins. Like you're just like winging it. It's not a lack of care. It's a lack of practical objects. So the need for the Stabler Tabler, I mean, that is a thing that should exist in the world. You're filling a need with that one.
Is it also like the cleaning and like the
Yeah,
table, the chairs get put up on the table every single night, so it's changing the balance of the table.
Absolutely.
After a certain amount of time. And
Yeah,
But I guess what I'm
they're
getting at
constantly
is,
moving with people and otherwise.
I think pretty much everybody that I've ever met doesn't like a wobbly table at a restaurant.
I have not
Is
met
there
a
anybody-
single person that likes a wobbly table.
Do you know anybody that just kind of accepts them and lives with it as their drinks like kind of slosh around and they're like, this is just how it is? Or do they always try to like, I've found myself like stepping on the bottom foot to kind of keep the table leaning one way.
Yeah,
or I put my elbow on
on,
it to hold
yeah.
the table.
You become the fixer.
And here we are living in a place where we're only slightly affected.
this is certainly a first world problem.
Yeah.
It's-
And we have all the resources to do it. I mean, we do it when there's like, we have
Can we-
fancy camera stands. I mean, the camera stands are super nice. They level. They
It's
don't
like
wobble.
that Chinese proverb where there's like, I want to find out what's wrong with my estate, my farm or whatever. And so he gets a wise man, and the wise man says, okay, I need you to go down here to this section. I need you to dig this hole, and I need you to go do this and go do that. And then at the end, he goes like, it's not successful or successful. And he goes, but now it's successful because you know what's going on, right? Like when you're close to something, like you own a business, like you kind of forget the details of things, right? It's like think about.
You can't get lost in the minutia.
Like think about your house, right? Like you live in your house and you clean your house and you're all this stuff, but then when like a guest comes over, they're like hyper aware of the surroundings and they notice things that you didn't notice before, like you haven't noticed in a while.
Well, thanks
Yeah.
for making me feel even more socially
Yeah, it's
awkward
like-
about having people over.
It's like the Flintstones when like the mother-in-law would come over and she would figure out the dust that was on the
You
Oh.
didn't clean the top of the fridge,
Yes.
Fred.
Right. It's like you don't think like I don't think about it like when I'm at my house and there's like a fridge or whatever and I clean the house and then somebody comes over and they're like 6'5" and they can like see on top of my
Oh,
shelves and
yeah.
see on top of my fridge and all that stuff. Like, when you're at a restaurant, you're sitting in a spot where the owner probably has never sat, right? Like, 'cause
Depends on the restaurant.
they don't go
but
sit
yeah.
in every seat at the table and You know what I mean? Like, they don't go sit at every seat at the table and say, what does this look like? Or what is the perspective of a customer from this?
So is the Chinese proverb understanding the problem is the solution? Or what is the proverb? I don't get it.
It's like paying attention to your business on a micro level.
Details matter?
Yeah, the details of everything, so you have a bigger picture of what's going on and how to fix and correct problems.
I hear what you're saying.
This
I
is
still
like
think
the
it's
problems with the economy, as we were discussing earlier.
it's still a bit of ignorance, though. I mean, you can get lost in that stuff. I agree with you, Eric. But come on, a wobbly table.
It seems like something that should have been fixed a long time ago.
It's like if there's a cracked plate, they probably don't bring it out to you because it could break. I mean, why not use it until it actually breaks?
Well, and they'll notice that, like the cook or whoever's preparing the glass will notice there's a crack or a break in it, right? Because it's right there and they're looking at it. That's part of their thing. But like,
Well, you pose an
Well,
interesting question.
The server sets the plate on the table and it wobbles.
it's kind
So
of that.
does
Maybe that's part of
everybody
like,
have a place in the recognition of the issue or the details of said possible issues
It's
in
like-
any given circumstance?
It's kind of like it's not my job or responsibility type of thing, so they don't do that.
Wobbly table? Not my fucking problem.
And maybe we should start a movement. Not really, but I'm thinking
What if
about
we
this
started
now.
an app? What
'Cause
if we
I'm-
had an app where we rated wobbly tables at a restaurant?
I don't
Wobbly
know. Well,
and the table or
We
the
don't
chairs
we
where you
don't-
move it and the sound is like a chalkboard going across the floor.
You just
like
made
when we
my
went-
skin uncomfortable.
when we went to lunch
Pizza, yeah.
at the pizza place, and I went to slide in my chair at the end,
that's
everybody in the entire place looked at me because it went.
Oh, and I will tell you,
Thank
I
you
will
for
tell
trying
you.
to mimic that sound. You
I
sound
s-
like a fucking pterodactyl.
That's what the chair sounded
No,
like.
really
I will tell you, the
worse
chairs
than
have
that.
been like that for years. Like that's
Did they not notice?
That's
They
the
got to the
one-
point where like this is just business. This is just how it sounds inside of a restaurant.
Maybe they like it.
That's the one thing that I would bring down the stars on that place because other than that, it's amazing.
Should I?
Other
Do
than
you
your
think I should?
Curry and it's pizza and it's delicious.
Where what is
Well, we can't say the name on the show.
I know. I just
You can tell me later.
yes.
Or I can come up
It's in
on a
Utah,
Friday and
and
we
it's-
and we can eat the pizza and go to MPS. Wait, what? Something so obvious?
Yes, it was that obvious. It's delicious. So there's super good stars.
I'm going to start
But
reviewing
then
based
the
on
seating,
table wobbliness.
Yeah, table wobbliness
Can we just
are
have
just like
reviews based on any minor detail of
yeah.
any space?
Maybe I should.
We could all start
Well,
one.
I've been
garbage
wondering-
cans. Have you ever noticed sometimes you're like, where's a garbage can? I'd like to throw away like
I noticed this a lot at a
Like,
music festival
I
the
feel
other
like
day.
I'm getting a calling in life now because I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
You have a sign on your desk that says so.
No, I gave that sign away to a bigger deal,
Who's the bigger deal?
Dustin.
That was
He's
nice
how I
of
learned
you.
how to be a big deal.
How is Dustin?
He's great.
One day I will meet him.
Yeah.
Do you know Dustin?
I don't know if I know.
I don't
Dustin.
No, he's moved to Atlanta.
Can we call him? We can have like a first guest. Can you put him on speaker? Just give him a call.
Oh,
Well,
that
I think-
doesn't
I
sound
think-
good.
I think on on our podcast show we should have a guest caller where we call the guest, not that they call in, like the old radio show.
Oh yeah.
That can be part of our agenda.
It will have to be planned out ahead of time.
Why?
Yeah, well, that's the planning part. So we're
Technology.
planning our
Technology.
our next episode.
At next episodes, if you do want to do that, that is definitely a possibility.
We could set up a mixer to do that.
Yes.
Because you want him to hear us and then us to hear him.
technology.
So without an echo.
Technology.
Yeah.
I want to.
Technology.
Yeah, that would be a good techno song. Technology.
I liked
I
what
thought you meant the
Technology.
like who we call would have to be planned out, and I feel like
Oh.
that's opposite.
No, it's just-
it's
could-
actually just the hearing, like how it
Yeah.
becomes available on said podcast. So we're
Yeah.
not producing a podcast, and people are like, "What the fuck are these idiots doing?"
You could call. You could
more,
call somebody.
that.
more so
You could call
than what's
somebody
going on now.
and have it up by the mic, and we'd pick it up.
Okay.
So,
I'm feeling
We
really
should call
grateful that this
Hochner.
isn't live streamed to the world right now.
That's okay.
I wish
could.
it was.
Eric is happy to put it on Facebook Live, I'm sure,
Why not? I
or
think we
YouTube
should.
Live, or whatever.
Giving an
live.
audience changes things.
And
Live
why not-
audience.
I'm gonna have to put my screen vision back on to deal with that.
Oh, I see. Just because you know.
Yeah, like
What if you didn't? What if he's doing it right now and he didn't tell you?
Well,
He's not.
I feel
was
like
just
he
saying
would have
what-
told me.
I'd have to be plugged into the network to
It's
get
funny
a
the
fast enough
difference that your
stream.
mind puts on that. Of what if the live cast stream
comfortable with
had to
you
disconnect somewhere on the internet and didn't actually go through, but you would treat it as if it did.
As long as I don't speak directly to the camera.
But
I
if you
feel
weren't told
totally
about
normal.
it, you would also act differently.
Can't even do it. Like with this.
Can't break the wall.
Yeah,
Is that the
like
third wall?
it's just awkward.
Yeah.
To me.
I do just want to finish up my last statement real quick.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was just saying I'm kind of a big deal because I'm a level 6, almost level 7 Google guide. And I've been working on that with all these reviews. And now I really know what my calling is.
Oh.
Is I'm going to review the things that other people don't,
acronymist.
Eric,
which
what-
is like table wobbliness. I'm going to be the table wobbliness, or the first, the slightly
How can I support you in
disenfranchised.
this?
This is where the disenfranchisement comes in. I'm going to go to
I
franchise.
have a
Eric's also a Google
level 6.
level.
You're level 6 as well.
I am, yeah.
My brother.
He's
Yeah.
been a high level for a long time. He stopped Google reviewing because
It's really hard to get to level
Yeah,
7.
well,
I'm
I
getting
would
getting
like
close.
to know what, like, I clearly don't Google review. When I send reviews, it's
I'm
like
probably a
to
negative
the
1.
same. My reviews are like, I really liked something and I send it directly to a person.
So
Yeah.
I have
or
a
I
really,
really dislike something. It's not like available to the my opinion is not available to the world.
while we're on the topic of Google, everybody,
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Now let's go somewhere like out in the middle of nowhere and then put like a graffitied like rock or stone or something and then like put a bunch of shit around it like dolls and flowers and coins and things like that. Take pictures of it, put it on Google as the Utah Blarney Stone, and then we all go rate it 5 stars and like review it and
Okay.
see what happens.
You want to make an Instagram destination, is what you're telling me?
Yes.
Well, he's planning on doing it through maps.
I'm totally into that.
If you get 5-star reviews,
It's like the
you
monolith
go,
that just showed
you
up
go
in
way
the desert.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm totally into this, Eric.
So let's,
I'm down
like,
to build some
Are we
sort
cool
of
with the
shrine
the
to
Utah
something.
Blarney Stone?
The Utah Blarney Stone.
It
We'll
has
have
to
to
be
have some
somewhere
Irish
kind of
roots in
boring
it.
though.
Do you realize though, like the Blarney Stone, like you have to hang out of a building upside down to
Well,
kiss
I'm
it?
really looking forward to seeing Instagram pictures of people kissing our stone.
So we're gonna have to make
Oh.
a high difficulty rating.
No. Don't do something.
I don't want
that
people to
will
die.
Die.
I didn't mean die.
The
Don't
fear-
take the
I
responsibility.
wasn't
fear
going
goes-
that far, Jen.
No. It's just
Oh, make it simple.
make it simple because otherwise, someone's gonna have their selfie stick and fall 5 feet.
Somebody's gonna
And-
do that anyway.
And we need to put it on Atlas Obscura.
Yes.
And we'll have it like relatively close to a major route, like I-80, so that people passing through go, "There's the Utah Blarney Stone. Let's go check it out."
It doesn't have to be Blarney. We can.
I mean,
name it something
yeah,
else.
like,
Like
What
the
would it be?
leprechaun
What would
stone.
it be?
It would
Well,
have to
what's-
be something Utah though.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
maybe
Utah,
it's like a
the
fry
Utah-
sauce stone.
There you go.
I feel like you just read my mind. That was super weird.
We can actually take like a piece of sandstone that's kind of a little more porous because there's a couple different kinds of sandstone, and we can soak it in fry sauce for like I don't know 2-3 months to
Okay.
really get it to permeate, and then when people come and lick it, they'll be like, "This stone tastes like fry sauce," and it can just slowly weep out in the desert heat the essence of fry sauce, and people can stop by and be like, "I'm not going to really lick that." And you're
The
like, well, this
making,
is
ladies
what the
and
sauce-
gentlemen, the making of a myth.
the sauce from the state comes out of the stone. That's where they got the flavor from.
The making of a myth. This is beautiful. I like this idea. I like where it's going. I feel like that's episode 3 where we plot out our
Destination.
and figure out exactly what belongs in said shrine to make it a destination.
There's so many places too. So many.
So many fucking places. There's so many random obscure places.
Where's one?
The backyard.
The back. Yeah.
Oh,
We
I have
could-
a question for you. Inquiring minds want to know, and inquiring minds are Jen in this particular sense. Did you intend to make the stump with the metal light shade things look like a dick?
It is slightly curved.
It is. It is
And it has,
it's slightly phallic. Was it intent?
Slightly.
It's fully
Was it
phallic.
intended?
Pretty sure that's just
Full phallic.
Phallic.
Full phallic.
I just want to know if it was intended.
not on first intention, but I left it because of that.
Oh, okay.
I had these.
I made a dick! Yay!
I had some aluminum like back shades for lamps,
Okay.
but they didn't have the hole cut in them yet.
Like I said, I think they were gathering water, and he flipped them upside down and stuck them on the log so
Well,
they
they don't-
stopped
they don't have-
gathering water for mosquitoes to like thrive in.
Yeah, like they just kind of got gross and stuff, so I just put them that way, and they're upside down on top of the tree because I want to put a light above that area.
Okay.
And I was thinking I'd use one of those and just like drill a
Oh, it's
hole in
like
it,
an
put a little light in
indicator.
there, and that's like the closer. Sometimes I take supplies for a project and slowly move them closer to where they'll be
It's
used.
a task indicator.
And that way you can do what I call serial microtasking to get all your projects done. Just do a little bit. So that's where it got to, and it's kind of enjoyable now. So I'm working on other projects
That's a good
while
way of
everybody
doing
else
a
gets to
task.
enjoy seeing the midpoint of that project.
I feel like maybe
which
I
is
would
a
be
big
more effective
phallic
in
tree in my backyard. A 10-foot high stump with a cap on it.
Yeah. It's a mushroom.
Yeah, a mushroom.
I feel like I need more bourbon. You go change
Oh, I
your
thought you were
outfit.
sharing.
No.
Go change my outfit. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that means you gotta put alcohol in that for me.
Is there a pause time, Eric? Should we do an intermission break?
Okay, Casey, look at the camera
I can.
and then go, come back into frame a little bit more like you were, and then move the mic, and just say, "We'll be right back."
We'll be right back.
I like the wink. That's nice. Good addition.
You're beautiful.
This is Chicken Sex,
With Casey.
Indiana.
Fuck, let's try it again.